Looky here. How y'all doing? I'm doing all right. Yeah. Oh, beer, mail, hopeful goodness. Yeah. Man, I'm clipping. God damn it. I hate when I set my mic. You see, what happens is I went and did a podcast with Jeff Alworth from Beervana blog and the Beer Bible. If you haven't watched that podcast, I put it on my channel. Go check it out. If not, you can check it out on any podcast you privy. I have this kind of Zoom H6 kind of microphone XLR mixer thing, and it's what I take on the road with me. So anytime I actually go and do a podcast on the road, it comes with me, and that means all the settings get tweaked, and I have to dial it back to its normalness. So I excuse the volume miscues, but anyway, we're going to be doing a beer mail unboxing tonight. This comes courtesy of my boy Rick from Michigan. This is, I believe, Rick's third beer mail he sent me, and this sucker is, man, it doesn't look huge, but that sucker is packed. That thing is dense. So yeah, he sent me off some pretty damn interesting beers in the past, so I'm really curious to see what's in this sucker. So yeah, hopefully everybody's doing all right. I already see that Thomas, Window Beer Review by Thomas, is in the chat. He says, hey, everybody. Please like and share. I appreciate it, brother. And let's just crack in this sucker. See what we got going on. Anyway, take a little sippy poo. My boy Felix from Montreal chiming in. What's going on, homie? Oh, this guy. The Beer Patrol. Un Beer Patrol? Oh, he's in the house too. Anyway, it's been a while since I got a beer mail. I blame everybody here for not sending me 19 beer mails a day, because I definitely need that in my life. So does my liver. And let's see what's what. Okay. We have Thomas chiming in again saying congratulations on 10K. Well, it was 9K, but we're working towards 10K. We'll get there. Mark chiming in. Go check out Mark's channel. He says, hi, Matt. How are you? What's going on? David chiming in saying, what's up, Matt? No jinx. Some Michigan jams. That's right, son. So yeah, let's see what we got floating around. Oh, notes. This is packed proper. There's all kinds of notes. Oh, see, the last time he sent me stuff was a bunch of craziness. I think we're in for a treat yet again. Thomas saying, congrats on 9K. Sorry, it's okay. I'll get to 10K soon. Hey, Matt, 1T. There you go. Just decided to send you out some 8-bit beers along with a few from Bell's. The 4D is a barrel aged 2.5 years in batch. Okay. He's explaining stuff. Let's just open it up and do a little reveal for you guys. So I'm going to do the cans first. Probably going to be a bunch of 8-bit stuff like that said. Alien vibes. Yeah, well, alien vibes on here, but alien vibes in a very 8-bit way that it was like Aliens on Genesis kind of thing going on. 8-bit brew cup is a sour double IPA, tangerine, passion fruit, mango, and El Dorado. 8.5%. Canned in June. So sour IPA should hold up to some extent. We got Cast No Shadow. Cast No Shadow. Isn't that like who sings that song? Hazy Pale, Cast No Shadow. Isn't that Oasis, right? Cast No Shadow. I love that song actually. Ooh, this thing's bulging. This is from 623. What's the story? Morning Glory. See, yeah, it is Oasis. There you go. I love that song because there's a really cheesy soccer movie called Goal. It's just called Goal with an exclamation point, and that song is in there. Man, this thing's puffing. Man, that bottom's blowing out a little bit. I don't know what's going on there. See, look, it doesn't even want to sit properly. It's like a weeble wobble. Yeah. Let's see. FLX up in the piece saying, hey, what's going on, homies? Yeah, congrats on 9K, sir. Good, sir. Well deserved. Thank you very much. Unpacking time. No jinx. FLX beer reviews being here equals trouble. Lots of it. Oasis all day, sons. Simmer down now. And I'm going to have to ask you to settle down. The best soccer movie is Kicking and Screaming for sure. I like that. You know, Will Ferrell and what's his name? What's the old dude's name? The guy from he has been in like The Godfather and the Racing Thunder movie with Tom Cruise. He's like an amazing actor, and I should know his name. Robert Duvall. Anyway, yeah, a little bit more 8-bit here. It says Into the Thick of It. Another sour double IPA. So there you go, a little maize. Not the biggest sour double IPA guy, but actually, and just to get back to FLX beer reviews, the answer to the best soccer movie of all time is a little movie called Victory. If you have not watched it, it is horrifically, fantastically awesome. It is from like the late 70s, early 80s. And let's just put it that way. Real soccer players are in it, as is who's the guy who played Austin Powers' father? That guy. And and Sylvester Stallone is a goalie in it. Okay, let's just put it that way. That's how great that movie. Pele's in it. Franz Beckenbauer is in it. Who a bunch of crazy soccer players in it, but then there's real actors in it. It's insane. Oh, the third sour double IPA, Avatar. You got it, Avatar. Okay. So we have 3 sour double IPAs. Michael Caine, yes. Batman's butler, Michael Caine, yes. I'll take it. Victor is great. Pele, Sylvester Stallone, and Michael Caine. Marco Kern. Yeah, that's the best soccer movie ever. It's not a great movie, but it's actually the soccer action in it is actually really, really, really good. Like you have to put yourself in like the late 70s, early 80s kind of mindset and what they were capable of producing. It's probably one of the best live action sports that I've seen. Favorite California breweries? Have you tried Green Cheek? I've tried Green Cheek. I don't know if I've had just Green Cheek. I think I've had collabs via Green Cheek. My favorite California, I mean, that's really hard, dude. Man, there's so many good ones because I mean you could whittle it down. What's your favorite brewery in San Diego? Oh man, who's my favorite? I don't know. I'll tell you this though. Let's go this way. One of my favorite breweries of all time that gets zero love is North Coast. I love North Coast. I mean, their North Coast Old Sock, you see them all up there, is one of my favorite aging beers of all time. But really, outside of that, and I'm not a big fan of Old Rasputin. People love Old Rasputin, but outside of that, a lot of their chugger beers, their Scrimshaw and their Seal beer, their Old 38 Stout, like a bunch of their old school jammers are so delicious. So I'm a big North Coast fan. And there's a ton of great breweries out in California that are like people like Coronado know what he messes with anymore. You know what I mean? Like there's like just these breweries that just nobody really gives a shit about anymore. They just produce great beers and a lot of new school stuff. Everybody loves the Monkish and everybody loves, the Horse and all that kind of fun stuff. But I think there's a lot of just old school super chuggers out there. And I like that. I like that about California. I still never been to California. No jinx. Anyone watch Ted Lasso? Hell yeah, dude. Ted Lasso was like a weird like freak out for me because when they did the Ted Lasso commercials, like it was like 8.5, 10 years ago. So for those that don't know, if you watch Ted Lasso, you probably don't know. Ted Lasso is a show where an American college football coach goes over to England, starts coaching an English soccer team. Cause I was going to say Premier League team, but they weren't a Premier League. They got relegated, yada, yada, yada. Anyway. Now they're back for the next season. Anyway, and it's like such a goofy concept. Well, the concept was actually just a funny one-off commercial thing that NBC did. Like, it had to be 10 years ago. It was like 2011, 2012. NBC got the rights to the English Premier League. So they made this commercial series with Jason Sudeikis and did this thing where they had this character named Ted Lasso who went to coach Tottenham, and he was just this weird American football coach. And that was 10 years ago. And then miraculously, like 10 years later, they make a show out of it. It has no rhyme or reason for why that should work, but it ends up being like the best show going right now, at least from a lighthearted sense. You have stuff like Succession and all that kind of stuff. You have a lot of very dramatic, very kind of dense and heavy shows. But I mean, Ted Lasso, you turn Ted Lasso on, if by the end of Ted Lasso you're not happy, you're fundamentally messed up. I mean, there's a couple episodes which are a little bit weird, but yeah, that's such a great show. That beer with the garden maze, love that label. It is a pretty cool one, man. Yeah, I feel like somebody from Harry Potter is gonna get killed in that fucker. Yeah, California Brewery is insane question to answer. I probably need to have a valve before I can properly need new valve. And that's fantastic because it's like there's so many breweries. It's not even it's like almost impossible to answer. I'm halfway through this box, by the way. Problems, I don't see anything other than old Rasputin and barrel aged old Rasputin in my area anymore. Sometimes their fruited Berliner show up, and that's nice. Not cool. Yeah, it's actually, we get quite a bit. I actually picked up a mixed case of like all their crushers. It was like Scrimshaw, and then Red Seal, and it was Old 38, and I forget what was the fourth one in there, but it was like a mix of case or mix of half case. That's what it was. Of bottles. No, it was a whole mix of case. I remember because I got the whole case of it, and it was just a bunch of random mixed stuff, and I was like ecstatic about it. But we see a lot of North Coast out by me. I mean, old stock is it's easy to get if you know where you're going. Like you can't just randomly walk into a random store and have old stock, but if you're like, I want old stock today, I could drive with it within 20 minutes. I can go find old stock, no problem. So, but that's also me crossing into PA. No, I get it in Jersey too. So Jersey and PA have both of them. Good old Chuck chiming in. Chicago has a decent amount of North Coast old stock. Brother Theolonis is everywhere. I would say besides Old Rasputin, that's probably the second most easily found beer. And that might have been, no, that wasn't in the mixer too. That's too high ABV. But yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. You said you saw a big old bottle in 2017 old stock at a local place for $23.99. Is it worth it? Depends. You're talking about this, like it's probably bigger than this bottle, but the bigger bottles are all, that means it's barrel aged, unless. And let me go through this. So the big bottles of old stock are typically barrel aged, either brandy barrels or bourbon barrels, but they do apple brandy barrels and they do random variants every now and then. Old stock made one 750 non-barrel aged version. It was called the Astucci, North Coast old stock Astucci, which was basically there was some kind of like typhoon in Japan. And they had something, they did a benefit for it, and they sold old stock in 750s with a slight markup, and all the proceeds went to like help. So almost the barrel age ones, if they're barrel aged and it's $23.99, it's a bit pricey. They can be hit or miss, but they're usually quite fantastic, and they should be worth it. But if it's just a Astucci one, it's probably not worth it at that price. Anyway, yeah, old stock at some places too. Goddamn, they brew so many beers. I forget at this point. I'm so old. It's a Vios. Okay. Trick question. Lemmy is God. Thoughts on the brewery? Looking forward to this year's Black Tuesday. I mean, brewery is honestly, if you're going to talk about a brewery that can consistently, how do I say this? So you see all these breweries like Florida. Let's pick on Florida for a hot second. This turned into a live stream instead of unboxing. Let's pick on Florida for a minute. All these breweries, that make all these pastry stouts and all this kind of crazy stuff. It's kind of what the brewery did for years until everybody else started doing it. But the trick is they make a lot of other stuff, like they have that huge sour program now, the Tarot line. But even before that, they did a bunch of stuff. But it was all that kind of this big, huge, high ABV kind of barrel-aged beers. And I think they really did make the best versions of that. I'm actually a bigger fan of the brewery than of those Florida stout breweries because the brewery tend to lean heavily into old ale and barley wine as opposed to stout, and that's the big difference here. So you're talking about, a lot of these beers being like a mixture of old ales. But then again, you're also talking about 17% beers. My body can only take so much. I don't drink a ton of that stuff anymore, but yeah, huge thanks for the VSOJ for the Beer Tube Palooza. Yeah, it was a great experience because Chuck is the man. Let's dive into the rest of this stuff. I believe we're now into the one more can. Sorry. Then we'll be into the bottle portion of the show. Oh, another sour double IPA called the Don. I'm science. I might have to do all four sour double IPAs at the same time. We're going to do a side by side on 9% double sour IPAs. We have to do it for science, I believe. This one is 3 weeks old, so we got a little bit of variance on time too. Strawberry, raspberry, guava, passion fruit, citra, mosaic, and comet on this one. So those are cans. Let's get to the bottles. Okay, let's get bells here. Let's pop the bells off first. Let's see what's going on. I love me some bells. Uber on. What is Uber on? American Wheat Ale aged in it's Oberon and bourbon barrels? What? This is an American Wheat Ale aged in bourbon barrels. It's 11.3%. When winter comes, snowbirds travel south, but this lucky batch of Oberon headed to the barrel. Oberon is a bourbon barrel aged version of our American Wheat Ale. It's a strong, spicy, ready to cap off the night kind of style. It's an Oberon wheat wine aged in bourbon barrels. See, I like the bottles better, baby. That's I'm a big Oberon fan. Like, I actually love Oberon. It's like one of my favorite summer crushers. So that is extra. Oh, don't tell me that cap is like. Oh, I thought this was going to be a specific beer. If it was, I was going to go ballistic. It's nothing shabby. It's the 35th anniversary edition of Expedition Stout, extra special version Imperial Stout. Yeah. With the cap and it being light, I thought it was going to be Batch 9000, which is like my favorite Bell's beer of all time. Expedition Stout is the longest brewed beer or Imperial Stout in the U.S. First brewed in 1989. To be robust enough to hold up to time and travel, we couldn't think of a better beer to honor our 35th anniversary. Brewed a special, stronger version for your cellar, your travels, or those special occasions of your own. See, now this is cool because this is packaged. It's 11.5%, and it was packaged a little bit over a year, baby. So it has a little bit of time on it. That's not going to survive all that long. I said, Joe from Beer Patrol just chiming in saying too many sour IPAs. And it's like, LOL, I was going to ask if he sent the Oberon variants. He sure did. And he's like, I'm not a huge Oberon fan, but I'm all about waiting to try any variants, bigger versions, and extra special, baby. Extra special, baby. Okay, then we have, I know there's, the last one's the Kuhn, and we'll save that for last because I can tell because there's foil on it. What is this? Oh, it's another Bell's. It's Tequila Barrel Flamingo Fight. Flamingo Fruit Fight. Tequila Barrel aged tart with raspberry. Is this an Oberon variant too? It smells like it would be something like 6%. They don't have any Oberon verbiage on this, so it's a tequila barrel aged 6% fruit fight. Tequila barrel aged tart ale with passion fruit and lime. Passion fruit, baby. It's a passion fruit, son. Joe would love that beer. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Conan! That's what I'm talking about right now, son. Yeah, that's to be the last one because he mentioned it in the note. In the note. I haven't had one of these since the last time he sent it off. Madagascar Vanilla Bean 4D. There you go. It's Crafters collaboration. Don't know what that means. So it's Crafters collaboration, made in collaboration with Sam Zituna of Napa Valley Beverage. So, 4D is this old ale is made of Madagascar vanilla beans aged in 3 distinctly different barrels. This ale has an intense sweet caramel malt flavor with hints of vanilla in the finish. Better if there's goddamn vanilla beans in it. I think 4D might be my favorite Kunin beer. Maybe. I think I got 4D behind me, don't I? Is there a 4D somewhere up here? Let's take a look. Was I gonna see there's a Kunin beer there. You know what? There's bottles behind her. I might have pushed the 4D back in the rotation. Oh, look at that. I'm an asshole. I'll put the 4D back up front. It was up there, but I'll put it back down. But yeah, it might be my favorite one. This is a crazy, weird box, man. Because it's like 4 gigantic, huge sour double IPAs, which is totally not. This one's like covered in a burst beer too. There's like schmegma. You can see the schmeg underneath the cap. This one, yeah, and this is not big. I'm not a huge sour double IPA guy. Is that leaking? Actually, it feels like something's wet. And this one would be the one you would assume would be leaking because it's anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna do for science for y'all. I'm going to do a side by side on sour double IPAs, all from 8-bit. That is my pledge to you to do that for science. Outside of that, I mean, everything's cool. You know, I love the 8-bit stuff because I've had such a wide swath of beers from them, courtesy of Rick. So it's cool about that, but I'm not going to lie to you. This Barrel Age Oberon is probably the one that's really got me kind of tweaked. Because there's something about a bourbon barrel aged wheat wines that kind of gets me all hot and bothered. And I don't know. I think Bell's makes some of the better beer. Period. Like interesting, fun, creative. Might not get all the pub. Might not get all the fancy accolades and all that kind of stuff. But I dig what they do. Full disclosure, this is going to be the best one of the bunch. Because it's Kunin. It's Kunin, buddy. It's Kunin with the vanilla. Ooh. Gotta have that vanilla. So let's take this. It's bothering me. Throw that over there. There you go. That would be an unboxing. I don't know what else. It's 7:54. Joe from Beer Patrol. Oh no, let's go back up. Whoa. They have a tequila barrel aged fruit fight. I love the base. Had no idea they had a barrel aged version. I've never even heard of the beer before. Nice. Oh shit, Napa Valley Beverage. Totally hit up that bottle shop numerous times when visiting Detroit, right down the road from right down the road from Corona Herons, baby. And repost since I swear. Oh crap. Oh, I don't care that you swear, brother. And Felix says, do you like pumpkin beers? Do I like pumpkin beers? Yes. Do you like beers because they're pumpkin beers? No. No, there's pumpkin beers are like, there's really good pumpkin beers because they're really good beers that happen to have pumpkin in them. Like a pumpkin does not a good beer make, you know, but there are really, really, really good pumpkin beers that just are really good beers that happen to have pumpkin in them. You know, I can get down with just base pumpkin beers. You know, by me, we're like, we are very lucky by me that we have some of the better pumpkin beer makers. You know, by me, Fegley's, W.E. Yerbacher. They make one of the better pumpkin beers in the world. Joe will test this Maple Mistress from Saucony Creek. It's a butternut squash beer, but it's their version of a pumpkin beer. So it's maple and butternut squash with pumpkin spices. That beer is fantastic. I mean, there's some really good ones. So it's like one of those things where I think pumpkin beers are much maligned because people equate like it's pumpkin, so it's good, or it's pumpkin beer, so it sucks. I view it the other way. I view it as any other beer that has adjunct in it, in a sense that, you know, if it's, you know, if it has peaches in it, well, it's not going to be good just because it has peaches in it. You know what I mean? But it can be a really good beer that just has peaches in it. You know, it's like, you got to make sure, get this thing going the right way. There we go. So yeah, it's one of those things where I think it just needs to just be good beer. not just a pumpkin beer. So that's my thoughts on it. Google cares when you swear and will hide comments in live streams. Oh, I did not know that. There you go. Friggin' pumpkin beers. 10 days of pumpkin upcoming, and I'm excited and dreading it. Help. 10 days of pumpkin. You're going to do 10 days straight of pumpkin, like different ages and variants and all that stuff? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now? If you are, then you're my hero. We need W.E. Yerbacher back in the distro back here in the Western New York. Miss all their beers, but definitely their Imperial Pumpkin. Yeah, their pumpkin is one of their better beers to make, period. You know? So we'll see. But I will tell you what about Weyerbacher. I just like calling it W.E. Yerbacher. It's Weyerbacher. I actually just realized I didn't stop there today. Now I'm angry because I was close to there. They just started doing small batch bottling to where they're going to be like ripping out, like they just did like a Vienna lager in 6-packs for like $10.99. But it's like brewery only, and it's like $10.99 a 6 or bottles, and you just come and get them. And they're just going to be doing small batch little jammers and just ripping them out of the brewery. And I'm like, yes, that's what I want from you, Weyerbacher. And they're doing it. So I'm kind of pissed I didn't stop by there today. Anyway. So, yeah. I think that's all I got. I would love to jump on a live stream right now, but I just don't have the time. I want to go hang out with the kiddo and stuff like that. It seems like everybody's up for a chat right now, but alas, this dude isn't, or maybe I am later. I don't know. Anyway, thank you very much, Rick, for sending these out. It's very cool. As much as I seem like I'm just giving a little bit of kind of side eye to the sour beers, I'm actually looking forward to doing like a side by side on these, just to see how they all drink it together. And yeah. Anyway, let's see. Dan, that's cool. Oh, Joe Beer Patrol, Dan, that's cool. Just give us the old Trogs barrel aged Flying Mouflon. The old one. They still do Flying Mouflon barrel aged. It's just not the old one. Because the new one they do, they barrel age it like everybody else. They barrel age it for a paltry, 6 to 12 months. The old one was in just barrels, not brewed, fermented, barreled, and then bottled in 3 years. It just spent 3+ years in a barrel. They just won't do that anymore. So, yeah. And I'd be good to go. So would I, because all that coconut from that barrel, son. Chat tomorrow with our Dutch friends. Oh, that's right. There's a 1 o'clock chat tomorrow. 1 o'clock tomorrow. Thomas opened beer reviews. Go check him out because we're doing a chat at 1 o'clock. I totally forgot about that. Hashtag facts on the Beer Patrol. 3 years minimum. 3 years. 3 years. So yeah, with our Dutch friend Thomas tomorrow, 1 o'clock American Standard Time. No, it's actually Valley Time. In Western New York Valley Time, which is 45 minutes slower than Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be, it's 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time is what I'm trying to say. So go check that chat out. I will definitely, probably, maybe, I don't know. Sunday's become my day where I go out with my dogs and take them to the dog park and run around. So we'll see where I end up, but I'll pop in at some point, whether it be on the road or back here. So go check them out. Thank you very much, Rick, for sending these off. This is a very cool combination. Not gonna lie to you, this side has just got me all the kind of intrigued, from this barrel aged jammer, this weirdo barrel aged jammer, this, come on now, son. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this unboxing. Hopefully you enjoyed this lively chatter over here in the old comments section. Probably one of the more violently, I'm not even gonna say actively, it was a violently commented unboxing, 28-minute unboxing. Jesus Christ. So you guys enjoyed this unboxing. Hopefully you join us tomorrow, 1 Eastern Standard or Eastern Daylight Savings Time, I should say, over on the Thomas